You got to how many flights you got?
I'm going direct.
Okay.
I mean, but it's one. If I miss it, I probably got to get a condo here.
Yeah. That's the one for the month.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Mm.
We're going to just get started, dog.
Let's do it.
I'd like to welcome everybody here. We got some Canes over here. Yeah! Oh! You didn't know it was that in here.
Did you bring them with you?
No!
No Canes and games here. No Canes and games. Those were planted. Them two people were planted.
I actually got a better reception with that than I thought was going to happen, dog. I thought I was going to get booed. Nah, but I'd like to welcome everybody here. This is Fan Outfitters presents Out the Huddle, Dime Life. It's my brand. Fan Outfitters is a local fan shop. Lids concept, right? There's currently 22 locations, and they're growing around the country rapidly. Fan Outfitters, everything fan-related, fan apparel. I'm DJ Williams, University of Miami linebacker, national champion, and I'm sitting here with a University of Florida legend, 2006 national championship team by the Chargers, but also played for the Chiefs.
Played for the Chiefs, yeah.
Mr. Brown and Siler, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Actually, we're both doing amazing because what happened about 20, 30 minutes ago?
Well, the boys went down. The boys
exactly.
Other place around here.
Now,
we both can agree on
that.
That's
what I'm saying. That's one thing. That's
we
one
come
thing.
together
Exactly.
on that. They went down.
On
Team
that,
wasn't
man.
even ranked, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but they always play tough against Georgia Tech, man.
Yeah.
You know what it's about? It's about the fact that when you're going against a team like that and they really believe they could win.
Yeah.
Right? Like, who was that team in the SEC, like when you played that they probably were never ranked, but you knew it was going to be a dogfight, it was going to be a tough game?
South Carolina.
There it is.
Every time.
There it is.
Because they thought that they could win the game.
That's it.
They thought they could win.
Dog, we used to have the craziest, toughest, not score-wise, but physically on your body and mentally, dog, against Temple. Dog, them little scrappers from Jersey, dog.
But you got to think about it, like they don't get to recruit nobody, but they also don't have people that leave early.
Exactly.
So they in the program for 4-5 years.
Exactly.
And if you get them cats when you got a bunch of 19, 20-year-olds and they got 23 or 24-year-olds.
Been in the program.
They've been in the program. Now
green shirt, red shirt, orange
every
shirt.
Every shirt you got. Medical shirt. COVID, did a COVID year. Everything.
We got a cat at Miami right now. This is ninth. I believe this is ninth season.
Ninth year.
I believe this is ninth season.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken.
We had a long snapper, Casey. I think I seen him here somewhere recently. But Casey had to be 40.
Yeah. Wait.
He had to be. Casey had to be 40 still snapping for us.
No.
I didn't believe he was going to leave. I don't think nobody believed he was going to leave because he left after my first year at Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like when Casey left, they put me at snapper.
Wait, you snapped?
I was a long snapper in high school because you couldn't hit the long snapper, so nobody else could get yards on us.
You snapped in the actual game?
I snapped up my whole career. I actually snapped a couple preseason games in the league.
Oh, you gotta be shitting me.
Got somebody killed almost because I ain't had done it in a while, but yeah. So they put me at long snapper when he left because it was just like everybody was surprised that we actually needed a long snapper because he hadn't done it for so long.
They would have to give me an extra check, dog. I'm not snapping. Listen, I'm not.
You mean? You mean all the checks that you had at Miami wasn't enough?
On, chill out.
Oh, I was just saying.
That was pre-NIL, dog.
I know.
They might.
They ain't gonna go back. They gave Reggie Bush his back, so they can't take yours.
Listen, I'm a hurricane. I ain't Reggie Bush. we get treated differently, right? Listen, I just had the little $250 a month that they gave me.
Oh,
you
was a lie, boy. You was a lie, boy.
I just had my little meal card.
You was a lie.
August 31st,
Yes, sir.
Florida versus Miami. When you saw that on the schedule, what was your first thought?
It was like the way that it's not the same way that we usually start. Right, like you don't supposed
Sanford
to start that way, right? Like because you got to get all like the little kinks out. But starting as a rivalry game, I mean, somebody even like Florida State,
yeah,
we don't play until late in the year usually. You know what I'm saying? Like for us, we usually have 2 warm-ups, and then we play our first game, right? Like that Tennessee.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But
yes.
That's a little rough, but especially with all of the rest of the schedule that's put together for us.
Listen.
It's crazy.
Well, I like it because you got to think in that off season, that summer, you're excited because you know how the season's going to kick off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard to get up for, no disrespect to anybody, but I'll just make up a college name, South Central State Tech.
Yeah,
right?
Something like that.
It's hard to get up for those type of games,
yeah.
right? So when I saw it, I got excited. But you spoke about the schedule, and hands down, University of Florida has the toughest schedule this season in college football, and I believe
ever.
It's the toughest schedule in college football history. Hold on, let me listen.
Ever.
Let me run down this gauntlet.
Yeah.
Right. First of all, you guys play 8 ranked. Well, you guys play 7 ranked teams because Florida State just lost.
No. That don't count. It's 8 still. You got to count it from they was ranked at that time, right? They was ranked at a time.
I'm just trying to throw a jab. Okay, 8 ranked.
But yes, they did just go down.
So as I was looking through the schedule, this is a gauntlet that I don't believe anybody's ever gone through in college football history. I'm going to go to your last 7 games. Your last 7 games, you guys play 6 ranked teams. You guys play number 15, Tennessee, number 1, Georgia. Next week, you play number 4, Texas. Next week, you play number 13, LSU. Next week, you play number 6, Ole Miss. And then you guys end the season with number 10, Florida State.
Hey, and for Napier, great timing, right? Like
horrible timing. Listen. Currently, right now,
great timing.
Currently, right now, he's 11-14 in his first 2 years, 6-10 in the SEC. I mean, does he get a pass for this schedule? Because is this a hot seat year?
He won't get a pass for the schedule. But I tell you what, if we lose 3 games, we might make the playoffs.
That's another thing. That's another thing that. Hold on, it depends on the 3 teams that you. There's going to be There's going to be a 3-loss team in the college football playoffs, and they're going to be coming from the SEC.
Right.
Everybody knows that.
Right.
Everybody knows that.
Absolutely.
There's 12 spots.
There's 12 spots. It gotta come from the SEC. It's whoever doesn't make it to that SEC championship. They're going to make it.
Yes.
They're going to make it. They're going to get one of the spots.
Right. Like, look, right? I'll go through it right now. Let's say you guys lose to Tennessee and you lose to LSU.
That means we beat.
Hold on. I'm just, because people out there are saying, wow, 3 lost teams. Here's how it happens. Let's say they lose to Tennessee and they lose to LSU, but they run the table. That probably gets them into the SEC championship.
What do you mean probably gets them in?
But then you can lose the SEC championship.
Lose the SEC championship and end up going in the playoffs.
There it is.
Absolutely.
There it is.
So what I say is bad timing for the schedule, but it does allow for a couple blips. It allows for a couple mistakes. If we really run a team out there that's really can go get it, right? Then we got the opportunity because we have chances to make a couple mistakes. We make a couple mistakes. We go run and somehow we figure out a way to beat Georgia, Texas, right? Or let's say Georgia.
That's crazy,
right? Like
beat Georgia and Texas back to back.
Georgia and Texas.
You can win. You can lose every other game. You deserve to go in.
Yeah, you'll get back. You'll get back ranked. If we 0-5 and then we beat Georgia and Texas, then we'll be 24. We'll be ranked 24. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's just how it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? That's the reward that you get for it, right? So I think that the schedule does. The schedule is the craziest thing in the world, but also I think that it allows us to have a couple mistakes if we're good. Because face it, if we're not gonna be able to run a great team out there, then that record could get ridiculous. It could get ridiculous.
Like, okay, two losing seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just be honest with you, dog. This is a losing season on paper, right? But if you look at what Napier's doing in recruiting, moving the team from 18th overall to now 3rd in the country, right?
Yep.
That got something to do with the NIL money. You talked about NIL. What's that Florida NIL money like?
What you talking about? Boy, we ain't did though. What you talking about?
No, it's legal now. It's okay.
Yeah, but we still just following all the rules.
No. I'm just saying it's legal now. It's
everybody got the same amount now, right?
No, we do not.
Everybody got the same amount.
Everybody do not. It comes off your alumni base and a lot of other factors.
You sure?
Yes. But again,
we have a good alumni. You know what I'm saying? We do have a good alumni, right? But I can tell you this. Listen, about the situation with Napier and how he has recruited. Like the only way to win championships, is to bring in great players.
That's the only
way.
Like
it's the only way. Like you can think that you can coach, but let you not have nothing to coach and see if you can coach good. Go take Saban and give him the talent at one of them whatever
South
schools
Tech, Central
and bring him to go
State.
Play all of the SEC schools. I don't care what you think you can coach. It ain't happening. So I think that's the first step. Zook recruited really well too. But then Zook got fired, and then Urban continued to recruit well.
Urban was a master.
Right? And then what did he do? What did Urban benefit from? Zook's recruiting.
Yeah.
Because he had players that he could, what's the name? He put a couple key pieces, right? Like, we was like, well, where's that guy that goes, whoa? And then Percy got off the bus, and it was like, oh, God loves him.
Who recruited you?
Zook.
Okay.
Zook recruited me, but that's what I'm saying. So our whole team, that team that was full with juniors and seniors, all them juniors and seniors were all Zook.
But see, that's kind of like what happened with University of Miami, right? Like, I was a product of Butch Davis.
Right. See what I'm saying?
Ed Reed, Sean Taylor.
Right.
Jonathan Vilma, Vince Wolford, all those guys, Jeremy, they were products, right, of Butch Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Butch went to Cleveland. Listen, Larry Coker came and sat down.
And said, oh, God, is it Christmas?
Larry Coker came and sat down.
Christmas. I know how to coach this.
I know
how to coach this right here.
No, but he did the best thing that he could do. In a respectful way, he got out of the way. He deferred to his coaching staff and to the leaderships that he had on his team. Like, we had a bunch of fifth-year seniors. We had a bunch of guys that were part of the University of Miami team that was on probation and got embarrassed by Florida State and Syracuse when they called a timeout and let Don McNabb wave to the whole. Like, you had those guys that were hungry,
right,
and wanted it.
Yeah.
So he was in a position to where it was almost like, don't mess this up.
Right.
Let me just sit back, relax. I got great leadership. We had Coach Swayze. We had a great strength coach. We had a great coaching staff. 5 coaches off that staff ended up becoming NFL head coaches.
Yeah. But see, that's the same thing with us, right? And I feel like that right now at Florida, we have that. Like, that's kind of what we have. We have a bunch of older guys that's been through this craziness. That's like, everybody's looking at them like, is that Florida? Right? But they're older now, right? Mm-hmm. And then you went and grabbed a couple little pieces that you can throw in there and plug holes, right? I don't care what nobody say, right? The whole age thing, it's crazy, right? In the span of college, you just had a guy that was 9 years at UM. Span of college, these kids can be an array of ages, right? Yeah. When you have an 18-year-old that's trying to block a 23-year-old,
it's a big difference.
You're going to have a problem.
It's a big difference.
You're going to have a problem. I don't care. You can go to whatever school or whatever. If he's 18 and he's trying to block a 23-year-old, that ain't fair.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So I feel like our team has enough older guys that's been through all of this turmoil. And now that we have a chance to be good, as long as they just buy into it, then it's like I think you put them little sweet pieces in there, and then bang, you run it out. I mean, look at our situation right now. Our situation couldn't clone the situation that we had so much as this year. Crazy. We got a guy that's pretty dang good at quarterback, right? Yeah. So good that you can't just bring the number one quarterback in the nation in and just take him out.
No,
you can't just take him out.
You can't.
Right? So who did we have? We had Chris, and then we brought in Tebow, right? And you couldn't just say, "Oh well, Tebow's going to be the guy from the beginning," right? But you were sprinkling them on in as you was saying. So I think we have that kind of same dynamic going on right now in Florida. So I say all that, but we ain't have 17 number one teams either.
Listen,
so
and when I think about University of Miami, we got Mario Cristobal, right? Ex-Kane. He's not on the hot seat, but Hurricane fans definitely want to see a better product on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the few times where we've always had an issue with finances. I'm gonna just be honest. Even back when nobody was supposed to be doing it, but everybody was doing it, we couldn't even do it if we wanted to do it. Is that a little tongue twister for you?
Yeah, because I know what you was doing. and you can talk all that finances talk all you want. Y'all had it in cash.
Listen, in cash.
Money.
Listen.
Cash. South Beach.
We did not.
Yes, you did.
We did not. But listen, right now, Miami's finally moved up the rankings and recruiting. We crushed the portal this year. We got the top quarterback in the portal, Cam Ward. We got Martinez was a top running back in the portal, right? Oregon State.
Mm-hmm.
We got a few D linemen as well. And so as a Hurricane fan, it's like, okay, our excuse always was we couldn't compete with the facilities of Florida, of the Alabama, the Tennessees, all these Ohio State, these major schools, right? You have the Sofer family that's donated a bunch of money. You have the University of Miami collective that's finally came together, brought in money. We're bringing in coaching staff. We're doing everything right. And so now there's no excuses.
I got Edrin James walking up.
We got Edrin James.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, hold on.
I know what's going on around.
You know who our pass rush coach is?
Who?
Jason Taylor.
See what I'm saying?
Right? You know who else was part of Charlie Strong?
Yeah.
Like we went, you know what I'm saying?
We did it.
We went and did it.
Yep.
So for me, and I'm gonna look into the camera, it is college football playoff, or I got a problem. That's it. College football playoff for the University of Miami. It is college football. It's 12 teams.
And you said 12. Is college football playoff or what?
Or I got a problem.
Well, you've had problems before, so you know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what I'm talking about. I don't think it's gonna happen, but
Oh man. So listen, we were talking about earlier a little bit about the NIL landscape.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about it, just in general?
I feel like it was long overdue. I feel like the NCAA felt like they was going to be able to get away with it forever, and finally had a breakthrough that they shouldn't be able to. Somebody, if you don't see something wrong with the fact that Jameis gets crab legs, right? He gets crab legs, and he's ineligible. But we can build billion-dollar stadiums and million-dollar facilities at the University of Florida. This place don't even look the same from when I played.
Neither does University of Miami.
Mean, it's buildings everywhere. I don't even know where I used to stay. I'm looking at they moved the Swamp restaurant. Like what? How that happened? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just so much pouring into this university, and it's because of the athletic program, right? The athletic program is what funds it. And when I say athletic
Listen,
program,
let's okay.
it's football.
I was gonna say
Football funds it, right? Because football funds all the rest of the sports.
That's what I was about to say.
They fund all the rest of the sports.
I don't like the revenue share.
No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yes.
It don't make sense because it's just like a salary cap.
Yeah.
Right? Salary cap doesn't tell you that this position has to make that amount and it all should be the same, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody knows the quarterback's gonna get paid.
The money gonna get allocated to who we feel is the most important.
Whoever is most important.
Right.
And that in the NIL space, I think it's been done. Now, what I think they got an attitude when they got caught, mm-hmm. and they basically said, well, y'all deal with it.
So I'll chime in on that because, having my brand Dime Life, I'm trying to do these NIL deals with these young men. And I agree, everybody should get paid, mm-hmm. right? Because everybody that's associated with college sports for years was getting paid besides the players, and the players are the actual product. Mm-hmm. But my issue is I feel like a lot of the representation for these athletes or the education process is lacking. Like, I'm negotiating with aunts, uncles, and sisters, mm-hmm. right? That I'll say they do have the best interests in mind, mm-hmm. but I think they lack the education.
Of course.
They lack the decision making.
And listen, when we go to the NFL, most of us, we're the first people in our family to make money. So how are they going to teach us about money making decisions and all of that sort of thing, right? Like, I represent over 5,000 NFL players, legacy pro sports. We get them disabilities, do some marketing stuff for them. And I was like, you know what? This NIL space, I'm going to go into, I'm going to have an agency where I do the NIL. And I started doing this. And I started doing it and I stopped.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait a minute. There's so much work to be done. But they don't understand what work you have to put into it. So they don't appreciate when you do that work for them. And you can't monetize it initially a lot of times. Then the changes happen. Okay, well, the universities can't give the kids money. Now the university can give the kids money. Now, and then, you start having all these changes where it's like, They let it go with the Wild Wild West, and I don't think that was the right way to do it.
They did it on purpose.
I think they did it spitefully
so that we
had to beg them back.
We need some law and order. We need some help.
Come help us.
We need some help.
You mean you want us to now make rules?
Yes.
For you guys. They did that on purpose. I think it was a smart move by them because they knew that everything was going to get crazy and out of control, and you was going to have to say, okay, well, look, we need some rules now. Who are we going to go to for some rules?
I mean, it lacks consistency from state to state, from team to team. And the rules are forever changing and evolving. I think it was last year where some rules were implemented in Florida, in the state of Florida, where the university could actually facilitate and handle NIL deals. Now, that's not fair to another state, Texas or Georgia, where they're not able to do that. Right. So it's like the Wild Wild West is opened up, but there's not an even playing field. But again, for me, it's the lack of education, right? You have NFL players going broke. Now you're giving these individuals money 4 years prior to that. They just passed a law in Florida where now high school players can get NIL. Mm-hmm. But this formula has already existed in the basketball form. Like in basketball, those kids are 12, 13 years old. They already knew they was going to be an Adidas guy. They already knew what college
baseball,
they was going.
Same thing.
Exactly. Soccer.
Baseball, same thing.
Soccer.
It's always been there. It's just in football and in our sports, like it was just, this is the way that we've always done it. And I hear fans and stuff all the time be like, oh, well, that NIL is messing up it's messing up college football. No, the NIL ain't messing up college football. The transfer portal is messing up college football. You can't have, even in the NFL, you can't have free agency every year, twice a year, 3 times. You can't just up and decide, because how now do you develop these young men, right? Like if you would have allowed me to leave, I was SEC Freshman Player of the Year.
Oh, you?
And And I was calling home.
I need that check.
I was calling home, though. I was calling home telling my mama that they wouldn't treat me fair at Florida.
Yeah.
I want to leave. Well, if it was the transfer portal, I might have left before I ever won the award.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you get to college, it's hard. You get there, you got all these cats that came before you. They bigger, stronger, faster. You on third string or whatever it is. Like, it's hard. But that develops you, right? That puts something in you that makes you appreciate the work that goes into becoming who it is that you become. You get what I'm saying? So I think that the transfer portal is really the real thing. And they're kind of cupping them together.
Mm-hmm.
They're two very separate things. NIL ain't ruining college sports. Yeah. Just because they get paid. I heard somebody say, well, now that they get paid, do they really love the game? What?
What's the NFL?
What's the NFL? You think guys going out there, they don't love it?
Yeah.
They love it. You don't know what that grass smell like every time you walking out there and nasty pads hitting your skin and all that. Man, look, we love that. I love that feeling, right? So that I think people do a bad job of coupling those together. NIL, it does nothing to college football. It pays the people that are making this money, these billions of dollars for everybody 100%. Else. Transfer portal is what's messing it up because we can't have no running back that was here last year and now he's going to be at Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia.
How?
ETN.
We can't do that. You can't even.
Listen.
If that red got on you, it probably should melt off.
But listen.
So I don't even know how he's getting a jersey on. You know what I'm saying?
You spoke about it being tough, right? Some players speak about not being treated fairly. Some people's because I want to get on the field. Mm-hmm. My issue with the transfer portal is you playing, you balling. This is this brotherhood, blood, sweat, and tears. You and I all summer. We ride together, we die together, bad boys for life. And then I'm like, you know what? I had 1,200 yards last year. I need that money or I'm going to Georgia.
How? You can't do that.
We grew up in a different era.
But you can't do that. That's just
the era is different.
But that's the thing. And you just said that we was third and we had a big check, so money wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been.
Can't.
Because how many calls does it take?
But again, like you have these kids, again, it happens in the NFL too all the time. You have an individual that's watching somebody else check, watching somebody else pocket, right? And battling, wanting to be the number one paid guy, right? If you're a top player I can't remember who it was this year.
So what would be your fix? What would be your fix for that? Right? Like, I understand what you said.
I remember when you used to you have to sit out. I think that would eliminate it and stop it.
Hello.
Sit your ass down.
You got to sit out.
Sit down.
You want to transfer? Cool. You got to sacrifice something.
Yes.
Got to be that way. So I think that if you transfer, you got to go 2 years first. Okay?
So hold on. So
you have to give
when you commit to a school, but
you commit for you got a 2-year contract.
But listen to this. Let's talk about the other side of it, right? This is a side that a lot of fans don't understand is when we were in school, when we signed that scholarship, it was a 4-year.
Yeah.
The scholarships now are year to year.
Year to year. That's crazy.
So just imagine the recruiting process. You go to a family's home, you sit on the couch with the young man, you talk about all these great things, and I'm going to teach your son how to be a young man. I'm going to be there. We're going to go to church on Sundays, family dinners at the house, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the season, you got to go, buddy.
Yeah. That's crazy, too, because the whole reason that they didn't pay us was because they was giving us an education, right? It's like, man, the good ones ain't never even used that education. Right? It's like, we want the education. Some of us.
Yeah.
Some of us don't. So how you gonna trade that for all this that?
See, I never thought of it like that.
I didn't ask you, and then you're gonna make me go to class. And then if I miss a couple classes, now you're gonna suspend me for what I really came here to do.
Okay, so listen, look where you're leading to. Is it going to be a situation?
Of course.
Hold on. You already know where I'm going.
Of course.
Listen, let's just call it is what it is. This is
League.
Minor league.
Of course, it's an occupation.
A pool for the NFL, and it ain't about class no more. We're paying you. Come in. This is a job. Benefits, everything that goes into the NFL. Do you foresee that it goes that way at some point in time?
I think that's the only way that they're going to have to get out of this.
Because
that's the only way they're going to have to resolve it.
They're half in, half out.
Right. Because if what could this is how the government labels if somebody is a 1099 employee or if they work for you full time. If they do work for you full time and they only can do that job, then you have to be an employee. Did you have time to work somewhere when you was in college playing football? No. Look, you got your whole schedule.
Almost ain't have time for school.
Day. Right. Sometimes you had to miss classes.
Yes.
Because you got stuff to do with your sport. So if you can't go get no job, then most certainly you are an employee. So if you're an employee now, we got to go benefits, insurance, all this, da-da-da. So I think it's definitely going down that road. I think that little education piece it will be the opportunity.
It
will be the opportunity.
They use that to not pay us.
Right.
It was never
about it. It was never about it. Never ever about it.
Never.
It was something that they had that they could give us.
That's what the trade-off was. Yeah.
They could give us that they already had, and that was the trade-off. But yeah, I think that you should go 2 years at a school, and you only allowed to transfer once.
I like that.
Once. You can't keep running. At some point you gotta take that mirror and flip it around. What am I doing? What am I doing wrong that I'm gonna go to 4 different schools?
Actually, Florida State's quarterback, and I think the starting quarterback at Oregon this year, this is gonna be their 3rd school. And see, that's what's weird to me. It's like when you have a position like leadership like that, it's hard for me.
How you just jump in there?
To ride or die with you after the bowl game, boom, I just jumped ship. And now I'm over here, and now I'm in another room with 100 other guys telling them the same thing, hyping them up. We ride together, we do this, that. Like, for me, that's like very, very tough.
Yeah, but I have to say that the same thing happens in the NFL. The same thing happens in basketball.
But again, hold on, no.
They go into a whole nother spot.
No. Here's what I tell people. What you won't see happen in the NFL is you won't see You won't see a player. I'll even go top 10. You won't see a player getting paid top 10 in his position, balling on a contending team, leave for more money and be on a team that ain't got a chance to win. You don't see that. You won't see a player in the NFL that is in his top 10, top 5, getting paid on a good team, playing and balling, leave and go to a team that went 2-15 last year.
But that's not apples to apples, see, because in that situation you have everything you could have ever wanted.
Cat did it.
If a guy's in the top 10,
I believe
if the guy's in the top 10 paid, that means he's getting paid.
I believe,
and then he's winning. He's got a shot to win the Super Bowl because
but he did it. The running back from Ole Miss.
He did it what?
I think he transferred. The running back from Ole Miss. Ole Miss is number 6 in the country right now. They got the whole team coming back. He ran for over 2,000 yards in his first 2 years.
Where'd he go? Ohio State. Well, that guy probably looked at what everybody else was saying. It was number 6, and went up there to Ohio State and said, "Oh no, this is what wins championships." That's a different story. Because see, in your scenario, you said for a worse team. No, he going that way.
I mean,
he gonna be in the playoffs.
It was
See, old Miss ain't.
Okay,
He want to go to the. He want to hoist the trophy.
It's still hard though for me to go from 6 to.
But see what we. Who say they 6? See, he might be looking at him like, man, they tripping.
I done been on some teams.
They tripping. They say that
this is teams where I'll be like, man,
this it right here. Nah, this ain't it. Go visit Ohio State and go look around the room like, oh no, this is it. We can't do nothing with this. And they gonna let me play here? I'm gonna be on top of this? Oh, we finna win it all. That's probably what he's thinking in his head.
Still tough for me, man. Yeah, so coming up for this game, on the 31st, right? We already have an understanding on who's gonna win.
Right, Florida. That's why you in Gainesville.
No.
You over here trying to jump on the bandwagon. It's all right, man. Got a couple shirts in
here.
Right,
look.
Maybe a hoodie.
Look. Speaking.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. So nobody can see you.
In the what was that? The TV show? I know the. Dang, I forgot the name of it. Nah, the Upside Down.
I don't know nothing about that.
I bet your son know. You know about the Upside Down? What the show was?
Man, we don't watch TV, kids, man. We don't
just out there
just
lifting, huh?
Work.
Just lifting. Lifting. Okay, but listen. If there was a chance for Florida to win on the 31st, what do you believe the keys of victory are?
Against y'all?
August 31st.
I really think that just period, our thing is going to be getting up to play, right?
Getting up?
Getting up.
Getting up what?
Getting up to play.
You right? Playing the University of Miami.
Yeah, but me and you know that.
Damn, so
right?
You think these boys, they don't feel the same?
I don't think that it's the same as back when. I don't think that same feeling is the same, right? Even like our rivalries, like I don't think that they quite understand them the same way that we do.
I mean, I do see them on social media. What's up, big bro?
They all together and hanging.
Listen,
you couldn't have said nothing to me.
Yeah, we was cool,
but no, man. Yeah. We ain't finna be doing that. No, I don't want you to. No, don't even hey me. No, nothing. Wait till after we whip y'all, and then now I'll be friendly with you.
So look, I'm looking at the team, and I look at you guys as quarterback, Graham Mertz, transferred, I believe transferred from Wisconsin. Very efficient last year, right? Mm-hmm. 70%, some odd completion rating. But when I look at it and I break it down, he'll have 40 throws for 194 yards. Dink, dunk, right? Only threw 3 interceptions last year. So I believe for the University of Miami, listen, we get up by 10 points, 14 points, it's over. We get up by 10, 14 points, we force Mertz to have to take the ball down the field, is over. We got Ruben Bain Jr., we got some other dominant pass rushers in the transfer portal. Cam Ward, Jacoby, Martinez. We got the running back. We got Fletcher. Listen, here's what's gonna happen. Listen, we got Restrepo. We got guys on offense that can get us that 10 to 14 point lead. We get that, push the ball in the Mertz hands, and then force him to have to get out of his comfort zone and win the game. For me, that's the key to the game. Get up by 10, force Mertz to have to throw the ball down the field, and then just feed Martinez and Fletcher at the end of the game.
I'm interested to see how this Mertz Lagway plays out.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how this plays out because, you gotta play Lagway at some. You have to, right? Like, especially with what we know about the transfer portal and all this. You gotta play him. So how they utilize him is going to be what's interesting to me. I seen the boy play in Orlando, and when I walked up to him, I was like, oh, okay, this a guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way that our quarterback here, Colts. Oh, shoot. Anthony
Oh,
Richardson.
Yeah.
When I walked up to him, I said, "Oh, okay, wait a minute, that's a pro right there."
I felt like that when I saw Cam Newton for the first
Cam
time.
Newton, same, right? You looking at them like, "Oh,
I know. I
okay,
said, listen. I think
okay,
I
this is
think I
what
was
a
like
quarterback
5 or
looks
6
like."
years old. I said, that is what a man looks
That
like.
is quarterback.
That is what a man looks
That is
like.
what a quarterback look like. Yeah, okay, right. So I'm saying, so like that's where it's like I'm interested to see that because it's not going to be in the like a Tebow role.
That's what I was about to
right?
say. Are you thinking
See,
about is
so
a package
see,
or is Mertz on the hot seat to where
see that's what I don't know, and that's why I say I'm interested to see it
Gotcha.
because Lagway can the thing that you saying that
get that band
he
down
can
the
he
field.
can throw that thing down the field, right? So
Get that thing
so
down the
do
field.
you how do you utilize that though? You know, do you utilize it in spots? Do you utilize it in certain packages? Do you just bring them in at some point? He get a series here and there? I don't know.
But
I don't
then,
know what
listen,
the answer
the
is
thing
to
is
that.
though, you give him that series and he does well,
You gotta give him up.
and then you got to give him another.
And then you get him another one,
And
and
you gotta
then
give
all of a
another.
sudden
And then
you
Mertz,
start off with
listen,
him, and then
and
you
then
keep him.
Mertz, you got to give Lagway some water.
Yeah, that's it.
That's how quickly it goes.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, and I think it'll play out right here in this first game.
In the first game,
it's going to show us how it's going to play out, right? Because if he just sitting, our fan base is going to go crazy.
Yeah,
they're going to go crazy. They're going to be frustrated. They're gonna, and stuff ain't going right, and he's sitting. They're gonna call for him, right?
And it does. It'll affect recruiting down the line. And
yes, it will.
I was a product of that, right? So I was a #1 recruit at a high school. Get to University of Miami, and my freshman year, I got beat out. Howard Clark, I twisted my ankle, but that's not why I lost. I just lost out to Howard Clark in the linebacker position. I didn't pick up the playbook as fast, and I think more so the other veteran guys weren't as comfortable with me in that position. Right? Yeah. And so, but I'm the #1 player in the country. And not only that, I'm from California. I'm way over here.
Yeah.
So if we bring a guy of this caliber here, he don't get on the field, we'll probably never get another top recruit from out of the state again.
Ever again.
So by grace of God, I always tell this story, right? My first year in college, I played fullback, and it's LeVar Arrington's fault. The year before, LeVar Arrington was playing R5. You know R5 life.
R5.
Will McFarland, I believe Will McFarland was back part of the wedge. As a matter of fact, he was holding hands with Howard Clark. And right when they were supposed to hit LeVar and double team him, he let it go. And I believe Will took all of it, messed up his equilibrium. It was a situation to where he couldn't jog without getting nauseous and throwing up. So when I lost out, it was a perfect situation for the team because I played offense in high school and I was big enough. They moved me straight to fullback. That's how I got to fullback, right? So it killed 2 birds with 1 stone, right? I replaced the fullback that they needed. They wanted Najee to play. Najee didn't want to play fullback, even though Najee 250 pounds.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They moved me to fullback. So now we got the #1 player in the country. And then they started giving me fullback wheels out the backfield, all these routes. Next thing you know, Najee now want to start to come and play.
Wait a minute.
Now they want to play fullback. So what? I agree with you, right? Like when you got a guy that highly touted and recruited, and you don't have a standout superstar stud quarterback that as a coach and a coaching staff, you're not hoping, but you're keeping your eye out and you're looking for that moment of when you can try to play musical chairs and put them in, or you can, like you said, just put, certain little packages, let him get a little taste of it, because if he starts performing well, next thing you know, week 4, he could be your guy if Mertz isn't playing up to the standard.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that that's going to be genius for us. However they do it, however Napier decides that he's going to do it, but something's got to be done. He ain't just going to be over there with a headset the whole time. And if he is, we better win.
Yeah.
We better win.
Let's take this thing back. Let's take this thing back in the days, right? Like the Florida University of Miami rivalry. I want you to tell me, one of your fondest memories or one of the best stories within the rivalry when you played the University? Did you play against him, man?
Oh
I
yeah.
was just making sure, dog, because I didn't know if you was on them teams that was ducking and dodging and hiding and sliding.
No, that's when y'all was ducking and dodging, hiding and sliding. That's what. Y'all definitely was ducking from us. You already know that. Y'all ain't want to come. Y'all did not want this smoke.
I'm 3-0 against Gators.
Yeah, that's because we wasn't scared to play y'all when y'all was on y'all high horse.
I'm 3-0.
We wasn't scared to play y'all when y'all was on y'all high horse, but all of a sudden we get on ours, and all of a sudden y'all know where to be found.
I'm 3-0 against the Gators.
Y'all like, forget it, FIU.
My last time that we came here, we played against the Swamp. Let me just ask you this. Let me look. I think your quarterback was Grossman.
Oh.
If your quarterback helmet comes off 5 times in one game, what's the percentage you think that you win that game?
Not very high.
Okay.
Not very high.
Okay.
Well, listen, my memory, I only remember one thing from the one time that we played Miami when I was, and we played them in a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we played them, I think it was a Peach Bowl or something like that.
Up
Atlanta.
Is that Atlanta? Oh, okay.
Atlanta, I think. We played them in a Peach Bowl, and I only have one memory from that game. Because, you know, a lot of us, when we go to the Peach Bowl, we don't play that, right? But
you in Atlanta.
But, yeah, you want to party, right? You don't want to go to practice, right? And we ain't playing for nothing, right? So, but I remember we were going for a field goal, and I remember watching that field goal, and it happened in slow motion, and it got blocked, and it like hit the ground one time, and the one person in the world that nobody could ever catch dropped right in his hands. Hester dropped right in his hand. Hester catches the ball, and I said, "Oh it's man, over. Gone 78 yards, back to the house." I was like, "Oh my God!" The one scenario that you trying to dodge, and I love Hester. Hester's my boy, one of my clients, but that was the worst person to ever see pick up that ball. Congratulations on the Hall of Fame, but
listen, Hester's Instagram handle is perfect. Anytime, 23. Anytime, anytime I get the ball, anytime.
Yeah. So
it dropped in his hands anytime.
I'm telling you, that's my only memory from that game.
All right, this is strictly for the fans. I asked the fans on social media before they want to hear a Tebow story, and give me something good. Nothing that I saw on the Netflix stuff. None of that. Give me something good, dog. Cause listen, Tebow came and played with me in Denver.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I ain't believe it. I ain't all the religion.
You ain't believe it
so
until you saw it, did you?
I didn't believe it. So I was with him. I was like, hey dog, give me some Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? And I could see in his eyes, and we was trying to trap him into those conversations,
right?
Because he one of the guys in the locker room. He loved it.
Yeah.
And that conversation went left. He'll slowly just fade out, and I was like, dang,
for real?
He really is.
He for real? Is this
he
really is? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, people always ask me about that, and Tebow looked up to me when he got to campus, and oddly enough, I couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
I wasn't a very religious person back then. Now I am, but back then I wasn't at all, right? So for him to cling to me, I really didn't understand that, right? But I guess one of my best memories was when he got to campus and he called me. And I think I told that one on the Netflix documentary, but he called me and I went and picked him up. What I left out of the Netflix documentary is we had a fight. It was a fight that day. And
Tebow got hands?
No. Tebow reminded me that the other part of that story that I forgot, because remember this stuck with Tebow because this was his first day on campus. I went and picked him up, took him to my house. We played video games, but I was throwing a big party. Mm-hmm. What I call this is a mandatory party. Mm-hmm. And a mandatory.
This is your rite of passage.
Well, no, the mandatory party was like I would have these parties, but I would make it mandatory for our team to come.
Gotcha.
Because it was a bonding experience.
Yeah.
Right. So I would throw a party and it's a mandatory party.
Yeah.
No option, but everybody had to come.
Gotcha.
If you didn't come, it was smoke in the city.
Yeah.
Right. So Two of our freshmen got into it on campus, and one of the freshmen family was in town and jumped out of the car on the other freshman, and the freshman ran off. So now you got people coming from off our campus to mess with one of our football players, right? So to me, I'm like, nah, we don't do that around here, right? So they both wasn't at the party, so I called them. I said, hey, they trying to explain it. I said, I don't care nothing about
the two
that.
individuals that fought each other.
The ones that was trying to fight.
Got you.
They didn't fight because he ran, because his family was there. So I said, man, look, I didn't ask y'all about what your side of the story. I got a mandatory party going on and y'all ain't here.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all know what that means. When I see you, we bumping, right? So you better get here before that happens, right? So me and Tebow we playing video game. Boom, boom. Now, mind you, I'm on the 3rd floor apartment at this time, and we playing, and all of a sudden the house kind of emptied out. And me and Tebow is in a competition, and when we compete, we locked in.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden I realize everybody's gone out of we in there by ourselves. So I go outside, I look over the thing, and both of the guys have pulled up, and now they down there basically arguing.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, hold up, I'm coming down. I run downstairs. I said, hey, listen, on this campus, when somebody from off this football team put their hands on somebody on this football team,
you already know,
we all gonna jump on their head. I said, that don't happen. The two people was there that jumped out. I said, so if y'all ever think that y'all gonna jump out on anybody on this campus, you got it mistaken. And if you feel like you want to do it, then jump bad now. We could do it right now. I said, now for y'all two, you got a problem with him, right? He said, well, I said, I ain't ask all that. You got a problem with him, right? He said, yeah. I said, you got a problem with him, right? Yeah. I said, now listen, this is what we gonna do. I said, y'all two gonna fight, and ain't nobody gonna jump in it. And if somebody decides to jump in it, I'm jumping in on the other side.
That's leadership. Boy.
So now, fight. And they looked at me like, I said, what y'all?
Oh, they
y'all
don't want to fight no more.
Y'all deaf? I said, fight. They
okay, they went
So Tim reminded me that was his first day on campus.
Yeah.
So I got an orchestrated fight going on.
He has to be shell-shocked.
He's shell-shocked. He's homeschooled, just don't even, and I let him get good and tired. Don't we just, no, keep going. You want to fight? You want to fight? No, get up. You want to fight out. Get it. No, let him go. Let him go.
Fight no more.
Keep going. I let him get dead tired. They couldn't fight no more.
Yeah.
Right? And I said, all right, we good. We got that out. Everybody good? I said, okay. Because that's the last time I'm going to hear about this. Don't matter what happened in the past. We family. So we're going to hug this thing out. And we ain't going to hear about that no more. We ain't got that problem don't even exist.
Yeah.
They hugged. We went back upstairs and party. When I got there in the morning, because the freshmen worked out and the workout before us, when I got into I walked into the weight room, was stretching for our workout time. They were on the bench press spotting each other.
Bonding.
So that is the story that Tebow reminded me of. He was like, do you realize that was my first day on campus? And then I took him to the club. That's the story. That's the story that I told in the Netflix documentary, but I left out the fight because I didn't remember the fight.
Yeah, that's a different type of brotherhood.
I didn't remember the fight.
It's hard for individuals that aren't a part of a football team and that close to understand that, like, on the field, and some things can get heated and you guys can actually go at it and really fight like brothers. But the moment that it's over, it's over.
It's done.
And a lot of it too is controlled by the individuals in the locker room. And we had similar situations like that at the University of Miami. And again, that's just a testament on how you guys win a national championship. When you have that type of leadership with individuals like that, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
what happens is you have teams that don't have that type of leadership. They get catty. They start talking behind each other's back.
He said, she
and
said.
then it really breaks and
it breaks
divides
them
the
apart
team.
because now they got this
Let's get it
store,
over
they got this store, they got
Let's
this,
get
and
it over
now
with.
they talking about this, and now we can't all be together.
Let's get it over with.
Because now we got all these little subs selecting, and they all got different opinions. But that kind of leadership nowadays is really is rare.
Yeah.
Right? Because especially because of now how we do things. A lot of things that we did back then, you can't do it nowadays.
Oof.
But the level of leadership still can be there.
Yes.
It's just that these
it was how
kids,
a lot of times
the
how
kids
we
nowadays, they don't want conflict so much.
Yeah.
They stay away from conflict so much that they don't understand that very thing that they can correct is what's going to get them to that end goal. But they have to correct it. But instead, to avoid conflict, they just stay away from it.
Mm-hmm. And then it shows up at the wrong time.
And we can continue having the same problem over and over again. It's never going to get fixed.
Yeah.
Because nobody addressed it. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference.
So right now, right, both retired. What does life after football look like for you, man? What you got going on?
Busy.
I know.
Busy, man. Shoot, I got wife and 2 boys. They both playing sports. So I had an AAU team I was running around with, and then now I got football. So sports is always big. They love it. They right in it just like I was. So me and my wife is just always running around with them. But then I got 13 companies that I run.
13.
Too. Yes. So Legacy Pro Sports, we have 5,000 NFL players that we represent. Peer Recovery, California. I have a rehab facility in California where I treat athletes for mental health, right? Anxiety, depression, all of the stuff that we go through when we done playing. Well, now what else we gonna do with our life? Like how we get back in contact with us and be selfish and just take care of ourselves and our body and our mind, right? Like we do a lot of holistic things out there where we'll do brain mapping, this TMS therapy, neural and biofeedback, where you can understand the things that got jarred because we played a game
100%.
where we used our head as a weapon. Now you can understand how those things have affected you, and then now take it, realize it, and then start correcting it, right? Like they don't admit that you can actually correct the things that we've done wrong. Well, they don't admit it because they never admit that they caused it in the first place. So if you don't admit like the concussion settlement, it was $2 billion to not sue us for this no more. We're not saying we did it. We saying that maybe we could have maybe caused something to it, but you can't sue us no more for it. $2 billion. Bang. All right. Out of the way. Right. So that's what we do. We treat people there. I also have Love for Vets, where I get disabilities and do the same mental health work for veterans. Right. So they go through the same problem that we get. Line of duty, neurocog, total and permanent disability is what I get for my guys there. In the vets world, it's just a percentage. Mm-hmm. But it's the same type of process where you got to prove what happened to you. You got to match it to something that's service related, or you have to go back in the records and peel stuff out and piece these cases together and then present them correctly in the VA appointments that they have. So those are just a few. Got some real estate stuff.
So,
got all kinds.
But with the Pure situation, like what sparked that? Was it something the way you felt when you retired? Because again, I know when I retired, I would have, prior to retiring, I never would have thought that I would have had that moment of being lost, moment of anxiety, frustration, stress, anger, all those things that, you know, a lot of players, it comes about. Yeah. Was it something that happened to you? Was it a close friend? What really
it most definitely happened to me. So my last year was in 2012 with Kansas City. I've never been cut. I'm one of those guys that just walked out.
Yeah.
Was done. Right. So in my 6th year, Javon Belcher shot himself in the head in Kansas City.
Yes.
Right. And I witnessed that. Right. Mm-hmm. And I was brought in to replace Javon. We all knew it. Right. Yeah. But Javon was like, me and Javon was like this. Right. And when that happened to him, I went through a lot of my mental health struggles. I couldn't even watch the sport for like 2-3 years. I didn't even know I couldn't watch it but I never watched it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was that mental thing, and I just had to find myself. I ended up getting some help and actually prospering,
And
went
you
and got
saw
all
that it
my
was beneficial.
degrees and
I
all of
did.
that stuff.
I did the
I
same
did
thing.
all of that stuff, right? And then I had one of my players that was going through these mental health issues, and he had a substance problem, right? They usually go pretty hand in hand. But if they don't go hand in hand, we can treat for substance and for mental health individually as well, right? So he was having all these problems. I booked him like 4 flights to try to get him out to a rehab facility. He said, "Man, listen, what I look like going to a rehab facility? I'm famous, right?
It's an
And
embarrassment factor. Yeah.
no disrespect to anybody, but the local crackhead off the street, I would be staying in a room with him and going to group therapy with him. He gonna understand my situation. He gonna call me a baby that I'm even in this situation because I'm famous and I'm supposed to be rich,
Yeah.
right? So I said, dang, that's crazy. Like he got so many good points in that. So I said, okay, well, how can I find him a place where he could go? And it was this one place, Peer Recovery, California. I looked it up online and I said, look, this place says that they do sports, only for athletes. I'm like, okay, well, shoot, this might work out. Explained it to him, got him on a plane out there. And I mean, the dude, he missed the 4 flights, this drunk, can't drugs, can't do none of that. So he went out there, and I played with this dude, right? So I knew how crazy he was, right? So went out there for 30 days, got his treatment, brain stuff, brain work, boom, boom. So then he went back. I was like working on his disability case. Like 2 months later, I was still going through his case and doing all. Then I called him. He answered the phone like, "Hey man," I'm like, "You sound different." He's like, "I should sound different." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Because I haven't had a drink or a drug since you sent me to that place." And I said, "You haven't had a drink or a drug?" I'm going out there. Jesus must be out there, right? So I said, "Okay, I got to go find Jesus, right?
Yeah.
I got to go. He out there, gotta be, because this dude ain't no way." So call my boy, my business partner, Ryan Sherry, and we went out there and looked at it. And man, when I got out there, my mind was blown because there was so much neuroscience and brain mapping and things that we really never understood. I never understood that you could start making these effects that happen with your memory and all. You can do it. It's just like a muscle,
Reverse them. Yeah.
right? You can make it go the other way if you work it out and you ice and stim it. If we understand in our everyday sports athletic world, we understand that if you get hurt, that you can ice it, right? You can stem the muscle and it makes it feel better. It takes the swelling out, and now those muscles can communicate with each other better. Well, TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation, is what it's called. It can do that same thing for neurons in your brain. So it's basically like, my best analogy is like STEM
Yeah.
for your brain, right? So I was so intrigued by that stuff, and she was going bankrupt. She was like $2.5 million in debt because she needed athletes.
And athletes
Well,
was embarrassed or they didn't know about it.
she needed athletes, but she had no way of getting these athletes in. She couldn't have a constant flow. And here I was at the time with 2,000 athletes.
Yes.
That all needed it.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, oh my gosh, like we need this in the worst way. So they needed it, and it would help them as well with their disability case because this will actually document what's going on with them. So I made a deal with her, right? I made a deal with her that day. I said, look, I'll keep this place full as long as you do this treatment on my guys. I'll keep this place full for you. But she gave me 25% in return in a marketing fee. I said, awesome, let's do it. Peer Recovery California, you can find us online. And Legacy Pro Sports is the company that I get disabilities for guys in the NFL, MLB as well, and then Love for Vets, for any veterans that want to get their disability or feel like their disability percentage needs to be increased. So all of those, you can find those websites, but those are the companies: Peer Recovery California, Legacy Pro Sports, and Love for Vets.
I love it, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
for coming out.
Yes, sir, baby.
Look into the camera. All right, throw it to you.